Hello, everyone. My name is Kieran, and it's a very, very sad evening for Manchester United. Dumped out of the Champions League by Sevilla 2-1. But the good news is I have got my good friend Day here from Man United Talks. Welcome to stream, mate. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Well, not really, actually. I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I know how you feel. Good to have you on the channel. His link, his link is in the description down below. And I really recommend it. I've been watching his content for a while and wanted to get him on the show. So I'm very, very happy that he is on the show. Thanks everyone who has already joined us. Welcome DLM75. Welcome to the stream, pal. How are you doing? Probably not good. He says, I'm not really angry or sad. I'm just fine. Well, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I'm pretty angry right now. I'm not gonna lie. I think you're the same.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I don't know. We'll get into it now. We'll get into it right now. Obviously, if you don't know the scoreline, I don't know how you wouldn't. Welcome, Alex. Welcome, Aaron. By the way, guys, thanks for joining. Please hit that like button as well. And welcome to everyone who's just joining. As I said, joined by Man United Talks himself. His link in the description down below. So I would really recommend it. Already got a few comments there, but we're going to get into the views now. So obviously, I'm going to come to you, my friend. Where do you think it all went wrong? What was the main? I mean, just sum up that performance, man. Sum it up.
Well, like we said very briefly before we started, was just the selection. I mean, Fellaini, after being injured for so long, to come in the way he did is just very baffling. I mean, like, why? I can't let myself understand or believe that he's good enough to be playing in the knockout stages of the Champions League, especially when Pogba's passed the test to be fit, and also McTominay's been playing brilliantly. So I wouldn't change anything by any stretch of the imagination. And then the space that was in midfield, I think Sevilla used it well. We didn't use it well. Matic was, in my opinion, the only person who actually played in the midfield, and we just got overrun a little bit, and it got out of hand. So yeah,
I would agree with that, my friend. I mean, I think I didn't understand the selection really as well. I really don't understand it. It was just, I mean, as you said, I mean, we were playing in the midfield three, and I mean, my saying is always with team selection: if it ain't fixed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's what I thought it was. That's obviously I'm not the manager, but if I was in that situation, I would have carried on with the midfield three we played against Liverpool. I thought we played really well with that, but obviously bringing Fellaini back in after not playing for so long and only his kind of cameo appearance at the end against Liverpool. So I don't know where that was going, but I'm going to read a few of the comments. Welcome Ryan as well. Welcome Red Army FC, and welcome Sirianj as well. Welcome guys. Thanks everyone for joining. I appreciate. Probably a bit depressing after the result, but I do appreciate all your support. And please do leave a like if you are enjoying this kind of content. Red Army FC says, I'm murdering anybody who... Oh, wow. Read that. But, I mean, should I read out the swear words? Because there's a lot down here.
Oh, boy.
Bob Mitchell. Oh, the Liverpool fans turned up. Bob Mitchell, yeah, mate. We beat you 2-1. So you can't do us any hate. All right. Aaron says I'm doing the midweek final score tomorrow. Fair enough. Go check out his channel as well. Ryan says the lineup we chose was strong. I thought the lineup. Yeah, I'd say the lineup was strong. I mean, we made a few changes to it, but ultimately it's still a lineup that should have beat Sevilla, in my opinion. But obviously some of the players didn't play well. DLM says it frustrates me when people have called Martial and Pogba so much recently. That's what makes me angry. What called them bad or called? Oh no, I'm not sure what you mean there. But I mean, obviously Martial when he came on, I thought he didn't do. Obviously, he didn't have that much time. Let's be honest. But Pogba when he came on, he didn't actually have the best impact that I thought he was. But there we go. Alex saying Fellaini killed us. I thought he didn't have the best of games. I thought he did give it away quite a bit. It was very, very slow. And yeah, so yeah, keep your comments coming in on the game. I'll be reading them out throughout the stream. So, I mean, where do we go from here? I mean, obviously we've got the FA Cup game on Saturday. We're out of the Champions League. The only trophy we can win is the FA Cup. I mean, as I said, where do we go from here? How are we going to improve ourselves?
I think the biggest thing is, excuse me, a great performance against Brighton. I think we have to be the complete opposite of what we did tonight, and we have to go out not just to be ruthless, but with better football. I mean, I know Fellaini. I mean, this is the game you might expect Fellaini actually to play if he wasn't playing tonight. But I don't want to see him, not after what. I mean, it's not necessarily his fault because Mourinho's picked him for God knows what reason, and it just didn't work. I don't think Fellaini necessarily had a bad game. I just don't think this was the game for him to play. So in terms of where we go from here, more Mata, please, because he brings link-up play and fluidity to the team that definitely wasn't there tonight. And yeah, please, let's just win the FA Cup, please. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, that shouldn't be too much to ask, but I mean, we'll see what happens with that. We do need to respond big time. I definitely agree with that. The fans are going to be a bit apprehensive going into that game. Luke going out to Sevilla, not going to be a great atmosphere around the ground, but we still have to remember in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, if we do win the FA Cup this season, finish second, I don't think it would have been a bad season for us, but. Ultimately, there's still a long way to go in the FA Cup, and you never know after this performance what could happen against Brighton as well. But I also agree that the Fellaini selection baffled me a lot. I thought McTominay was playing so well; he's in such good form. But to bring in Fellaini, I didn't understand it. Maybe Jose Mourinho was worried that McTominay didn't have was still a kind of young kid, didn't have the experience, and was going to do something rash. I don't know, but it's obvious that. Mourinho trusts Fellaini a lot more than he trusts McTominay. Even after playing McTominay and the way he's played, I didn't understand it. But we really do need to, respond. And I think Mata is actually a very decent player. I actually think that, you're right there. I think Mata, when he came on against Crystal Palace, notably, he actually changed the game for us. He was able to get on the ball and kind of, kind of make things happen and calm things down. And DLM says he wants me to read his big comment. Oh, so this is about the Martial Pogba. He says he doesn't like it when people call Martial and Pogba bad because of Sanchez. I hate him so much. Get gone, please, Sanchez. Please, you destroyed our team. I'm sorry, I've had enough with my Sanchez patience. So there we go. DLM already saying Sanchez should go. I mean, that's an interesting one. Obviously, I didn't think he had the best of games. I thought he tried to make things happen. Which is good, but obviously it didn't come off for him. Ryan says Rashford and Lukaku, the only ones with any passion out there. I totally agree. I thought, Rashford was trying things. Lukaku obviously getting the goal. I think he was his 24th of the season. So still putting up very, very good numbers in this Manchester United team, which a lot of the media seems to forget. Ryan also says here, most of the players had no passion for the game and the tactics were awful. I mean, in some ways, I thought we were a bit too defensive. Maybe gave a bit too much respect to Sevilla. I do think that Sevilla are a decent side, and I think that anyone coming into this game who thought it was going to be an absolute walkover was very, very naive. So I thought they played really well, and they were very, very. Their passing was just, impeccable, really. Alex says he can't settle with winning the cup, winning the FA Cup, I guess. So, Alex, you're saying if we won the FA Cup and finished second, you still wouldn't be able to sell for that? That's interesting. I think I probably would. I'm not sure about you, my friend.
I think, I wouldn't settle for it, but I think in terms of what's left to do, I think that's the best we can do. I mean, I won't be happy because we got knocked out to Sevilla at Old Trafford, but, of what's left, I think that's the most we can do. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think that's a good point, actually. Really, I mean, what else can we do, really? It's not like we're going to come back and win the league. And, Red Army FC here says that recycled piece of silver means fuck all. He's put it in. I think, obviously, I guess the only real thing about the FA Cup is the fact that we've got this kind of history with Arsenal and we would draw level with the amount that we've won. But ultimately, we would laugh at other teams if they were hanging on the FA Cup. We laughed at Arsenal last season.
Yeah.
So if we were to celebrate it, be really happy about it, then that would be a bit of it would be a bit of I've forgotten the word for it, but it just wouldn't be great
I
on
got
our.
what you mean.
Yeah. Alex says Sanchez was class tonight. Oh, a bit of a difference in opinion between DLM and Alex there. I think that I'm going to say I don't think he had his best performance, and I don't think we have seen the best of Alexis Sanchez at Manchester United, which is a real shame.
Yeah.
I mean, Jose Mourinho has come out in his press conference said that Sanchez hopefully next season he'll be right into the team and he'll be much better. And I hope he is, because for what we're paying him, he needs to be a bit better. But obviously, I think he's trying. He really is trying a lot.
Yeah.
And I do hope we do win the FA Cup, or just have a good season just for him, because I think he wanted to leave Arsenal for success. He wanted to leave Arsenal to kind of get something, and obviously this season probably not going to be able to deliver what he wants, but ultimately we're going to have to do the best of what we got. By the way, I just want to say welcome Dazzler's Football Stand, and welcome Man United Max. Welcome to the stream, guys. Thanks for joining. As I said, please do leave a like, and also I'm joined by Man United Talks as well, so his link is in the description down below. I very highly recommend his channel for all Manchester United stuff. Very, very good indeed. Check out. Link in the description down below. Dazza says, "Oh my God, what a shit game of football! Jose out." We've had our first Jose out comment of the evening from Dazza. So I mean, to be honest with you, right? Here's my. I'll come to you in a second, but my opinion on Jose out is, I mean, who else? I think there's a few arguments for some managers who will be able to come in and do the same job. But in my opinion, I think Jose Mourinho has been at the club for 2 years, is bringing in the players, still bringing in players which are his players, and still working with players who aren't his players. And I think he hasn't got his full squad yet. Obviously, you'd expect with the amount of money we spent over the last few seasons that he would have had his full squad by now. But ultimately, I think that I disagree with wanting Jose Mourinho out. I think I think there is a bit of a culture, especially on social media, with people reacting badly to losses and things like that. I do think that Jose Mourinho should stay in a job, and I think obviously if he finishes outside the top four inexplicably, then there might be a problem, and it might become a financial decision. The fact that we're not in the Champions League, but yeah, I'll come to you, Day, on this one. Am I pronouncing that name right, by the way?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. All
right,
good.
I'll come, just making sure. I'll come to you. Obviously, after this game, are you Jose Mourinho out?
No. I mean, the thing is, it's just like you said. There's people you can argue to replace him, but for one, he's probably the most experienced and most successful candidate for the job. He's got the job, like you said. He's been here 2 seasons, and he is changing us. We are progressing. We are in second place, and it's not easy all the time because of the football we've played. But the man, after tonight, this is the 3rd loss since he's been here that we've had at Old Trafford, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's what you call a fortress, and it sucks that those 2 losses prior to tonight were against City, but it is what it is. But yeah, I couldn't give a overly valid reason for him to leave. No, like you said, if we finish outside the top 4, then that is a valid reason to question him. I don't think he should be sacked, but he definitely needs to step it up and really just shuffle up his tactics. So.
Yeah, I think he's. I mean, you can't even say he's in a rough patch at the moment, because we just come off the back of a 2-1 win versus Liverpool, and we're in such good form at the moment. And I really hope that this loss doesn't derail our season. Hopefully, we can bounce back, similar to what Spurs did when they got knocked out of the Champions League. Welcome, PJ7. Welcome to stream. Thanks for joining. Let's read a few of your comments. Keep them coming in, by the way. Man United Max says Sanchez has to be dropped. I'm sorry, but it's true. Mata and Martial or Rashford are just performing for the team. Sanchez looks like a total stranger. I mean, I think Sanchez at the moment isn't having much joy. I mean, the only reason why you could argue for his place in the team at the moment is he's one of those players who has the quality to create a moment of brilliance, and I think that's a great quality to have. But I think right now, I think he's not showing that. Maybe it might be better for him to kind of be taken out of the lineup, be taken out of the team, maybe just to kind of show that he isn't invincible, and that, you know, at Man United there's certain standards which have to be met, and if you're not meeting them, then we've got players on the bench which can, you know, do that. And obviously there might be a bit of pressure, obviously from the board or maybe from people around the club who's saying, you know, we're paying him so much, he can't be on the bench. But I think, you know, maybe for the interest of you know, the team, he should get dropped. What do you think about that, my friend?
Well, I've been thinking about this for a while now, and I will reiterate this in my review. But I think it also comes down to personnel. I think the team you play tonight is not going to get anything out of Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez works best, or has worked best in his time at United, with Juan Mata, because Alexis Sanchez can play that link-up play and get the ball moving, and Juan Mata is the best in the team at getting that sort of play out of Manchester United. And also, in Alexis Sanchez's debut against Yeovil, I mean, I know it was Yeovil, but he played with Ander Herrera, which is another person who so happens to be Spanish, that gets that link-up play going, and we don't have that right now. And we haven't played Pogba with Sanchez an awful lot. So that's something I think that needs to happen. Is obviously Herrera's injured, but Mata and Sanchez, if Sanchez is going to play, Mata needs to play. I don't think Mata necessarily needs Sanchez to be successful, but if Sanchez is going to play, he needs someone to get, you know, the play with him. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, you know, Sanchez is one of those players who needs players around him to kind of, you know, help him out, because if he's the only one doing things, then one player can't win you the game. And, you know, obviously a lot of people thought when he came he was going to be that kind of, you know, he can win games on his own. But really, if you look at, you know, I mean, when he's playing for Arsenal, he was kind of, you know, mostly on his own. He had Ozil around him and maybe, you know, Giroud up front, Lacazette. But obviously, you know, he does need those players around him, and we were hoping that he was going to build a partnership with Lukaku. And somewhat, I mean, in the Premier League, he's actually been doing all right. It's just, I mean, tonight he's just not really been playing at his best. I'm going to read a few of the comments here. Real FC says Matic and Fellaini are at fault. Midfield battle was absolutely useless. I thought they did give the ball away quite a few times, especially Fellaini. I thought Matic wasn't too bad, although I do feel that he's a bit slow on the ball. And I think the problem is with having you know, a strong, tall midfielders. Yes, you know, they're really good physically, and you know, they can defend for you. But when it comes to creating a chance, they're hopeless. I mean, it's not. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, Fellaini had that shot in the first half, and I thought if Lukaku has that on his left foot, it could be a different story. But it's just unfortunate it fell to the tree.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
It's a fitting name, really. I think. PJ7 says United only have 2 world-class players. He says Sanchez and De Gea. So no, Pogba's not included. I mean, at the moment, I probably have to. I mean, Pogba's performances haven't been great at the moment. PJ7, obviously a Juventus fan, so maybe might have a few, you know, kind of biases to the fact that Pogba left him. But obviously, I do think at the moment Pogba's not performing well. He says he does say Pogba's overrated. I think in some ways, I mean, today, I mean, he definitely proved. If you had said that, he's proven it right. Hopefully, he does, you know, prove us wrong. DLM doesn't agree, but there we go. Fighting his corner. I think after this performance, I think he needs to improve, and I really hope Pogba can, because when he's on form, I mean, no one can deal with him. That's the thing. But he just hasn't shown it. I mean, at the start of the league season against West Ham, Swansea, he was brilliant. He was just one of the best, probably the best midfielder at the start of the and now it's just sort of falling away a bit, which is really unfortunate. Dazza says, sorry, but our defense is shit. I would say that Jordan Pickford is better. Hold on, wait. Are you saying? Oh no, that was a reply to PJ7 saying De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world, and he's saying Jordan Pickford's better than De Gea. Come on, man. Let's be real. Let's be real here. Let's not get delusional.
Please don't.
Alex says, just because Sanchez is playing, doesn't mean Pogba can't play a 5-yard pass. Yeah, I think, you know, Pogba did mess up a lot of passes tonight, and he came on in a very much pressure situation, but that's really, you know, what what we bought him for. We bought him for a lot
Yeah.
of money to kind of be able to play in these big games and be a game changer. But unfortunately, it's not happening at the moment. DLM wanted to read one of his comments up here. Let's sort of see. Is it a big comment? Trying to find it, my friend. But yeah, keep your comments coming in, and we'll rattle through them. Also, leave a like on the stream if you haven't already as well. That'd be absolutely superb. And subscribe to the Main Man Days channel in the description down below. As I said, no problem, my friend.
I think he said Sanchez and Pogba can't play together. And he said that's the end of it. We just have to deal with it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts?
I've made my thoughts on that public. I think that is the case at the moment. Like I said, and usually when Sanchez and Pogba have played together the full 90 minutes, Mata hasn't been involved. And Mata, for me, I mean, it's a bit ridiculous. He's just like a little wizard that links up everything. Like, no matter who's playing, he just gets the team moving and clicking, and the fluidity is just there. Now, Pogba is not, and I think Paul Scholes made this point, and I'm happy that he was the guy who made this point because everyone was saying Paul Pogba's the next Paul Scholes and all that type of stuff. But Paul Pogba, I'm going to paraphrase this. It's not exactly what Paul Scholes said, but he said something to the effect that he is not what Paul Scholes was. He is not the player that sits back and makes those passes. And he can do it, but that's not what his first choice is or what he should be doing majority of the game. Pogba is the player that gets the ball from someone like Paul Scholes and then makes the flare pass to the Lukaku, the Sanchez, the Martial, and he's the middleman. And I think that's where we get confused a bit with Pogba and getting the best out of Pogba, because in my opinion, we need to get the best out of Pogba before we get the best out of Sanchez, although we're paying Sanchez just ridiculous amounts of money. Paul Pogba is going to be the center of this team from this day forward. So, I mean, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, my friend. I'd have to agree. But yeah, as I said, keep getting your comments in. I mean, it's a very dark day. Obviously, I think though, obviously, I was watching the TV coverage, and a lot of people saying that it was probably one of the most embarrassing nights in United's history. And I think it's not giving enough credit to Sevilla because, in the first leg, they're dominant. They dominated us, and we were lucky to get out. If it was only for David De Gea that we did get out of there with a loss. And today they were comfortable on the ball as well. They had a lot more space, especially with Old Trafford being the big stadium that it is. It kind of suited them. And our record against Spanish teams just continues to be poor. I don't know why, what it is. We just can't beat the Spanish teams. PJ7 says he was good at Juve because he had the quality around him, such as Marquisio and Pirlo. Obviously, talking about Pogba there. Yeah, and I think Pogba does need those players around him to help him out. And we're hoping that Matic could come in and kind of be a bit more defensive, and Pogba could be more exuberant up front and show what he can do. And I think it was working towards the start of the season. I thought it was, a good plan. But just at the moment, since his injury, he just hasn't been the same, really. Alex says he questions PJ7. And I was reading that out, but I realized it was a question to PJ7. DLM says, let's play the same team that played against West Ham the first game of the season. Obviously, we don't have Mkhitaryan, as been pointed out there. But I think, that team did play very, very well. And we just looked brilliant. It was too good to be true, wasn't it? Just too good to be
4-0 FC.
Yeah, I know. It just didn't. After that Man City game, it just, I think we won a few 1-0s, but just kind of, our momentum was taken out of our sails, and they opened up an 8-point gap, and the rest is history. But we just need to carry on. We need to carry on to the rest of the season. I think there's 9 more games in the Premier League. Obviously got the FA Cup, and we just need to keep bounce back from this, and get back up the floor. And some of the players need to kind of look at themselves and look at their performances and kind of step up to the mark. And that's what they need to do. And obviously, Brighton on Saturday. Big game at home to win back the fans. And if we go through the semi-final, trip to Wembley, and possibly a cup in our hands, and it would mean that Jose Mourinho winning another trophy. But, it's just really disappointing. I remember speaking to a lot of you guys at the start of the season saying that quarterfinals was the aim for this season in the Champions League, and
Yeah.
falling short of it was, was pretty, it's pretty depressing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I really run out of words for this performance.
2-1 at home is just the most shocking result that you could think of, and to just get it taken away like that. Ben Yedder as well, who apparently is not having a great time at Sevilla in terms of his relationship with the coach and all that stuff. And he comes on and gets a brace, which I mean, like, that's just shocking. I saw someone tweet out, and I tweeted out myself after the game, if De Gea leaves, which, truth be told, he could have been gone about 2 or 3 seasons ago, we can't be mad at him because we let him down big time in situations like this. And truth be told, I think it's Mourinho who's let him down. I don't think the players necessarily let him down. And that's tough. But one point I want to make is that the reason I personally believe we lost this game is because there's no Ander Herrera. And I don't know if Mourinho would have played a 4-3-3 if Herrera had been available, but just someone who will chase back and will be aggressive and move the ball quicker, because Fellaini is not a passer. And you could even make an argument that since Herrera's not fit, you could have probably put in McTominay, who does the simple stuff right. And no one did the simple stuff right tonight at all. And that's why we lost. That's exactly why we lost.
No, I agree. I agree. Simple things win your football matches in the end of the day. And if you can't do the basics, that's, that it just means if, Sevilla were just much better at passing the ball. And it sounds so simple and it's so annoying talking about it now, but it's just so simple. And they just had more quality today. We didn't, obviously I was happy for Lukaku getting the goal. But yeah, I also agree that, if David De Gea leaves, I wouldn't blame him at all. I think that, the way we played, and the way, if it wasn't for him, we could be in a really bad position right now. We could be, nearly outside the top 4, or even outside the top 4. And, some of the saves he's made have been absolutely sublime, and we have to thank him for that. And I mean, I do think he's world class. He's the best keeper in the world. Without a doubt. I saw Dow put in the stream that Neuer's better after this performance. I think you can't really blame De Gea for tonight. It wasn't his fault. Alex is saying we should do the player rating. That's a good idea. So yeah, I mean, we may as well do it while we're here. So I mean, I'm going to ask you for these. You can give yours, and I'll give mine for each one. We'll just go for tit for tat like that. David De Gea.
It's hard in games like this because it's not much he can do really. But I'm gonna say a 6, 6.5. Yeah.
I'll go with that. I'll go with a 6 as well. You can't really blame him for what happened. But I mean, I didn't think you didn't have to make any brilliant saves or anything. So yeah, I'll go with that. Antonio Valencia.
It was interesting that he got subbed off. I mean, but he's always solid, so I'd give him a 6 as well, actually. I don't think he did much wrong, but I think he still needs to remember that he can cross the ball. So,
yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he made that many mistakes in the game. I mean, I don't think he really was at fault for many of the goals. I'm gonna say, because we conceded 2 goals, I'm gonna give him a 5, which is one below what you get. But I think that it's not like it's in the middle. I think he played averagely, really. I think he didn't exactly make a huge difference to the game. But 5. Eric Bailly.
I mean, geez, I don't want to do this, but we conceded 2 goals. But he had a good first half. There was one time where he made a great tackle after our defense was just split open. And I tweeted, Eric Bailly is the Black Panther. But I would give him, because he's just the guy, I would say 7. I mean, that's hard to give because we conceded 2 goals. But I mean, a 7. I would say 6 is the lowest. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought even though we conceded 2 goals, I thought he actually made a few very, very good blocks, very vital blocks. So it could have been it could have been a lot worse. So yeah, I would agree with 7 actually. I think he was probably, he played really well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like the Liverpool game, even after the goal was kind of his fault, obviously with the own goal, but he can get back up and just continue to play. So yeah, I'll go with this as well. His partner in crime, Chris Smalling.
Bambi on ice. Oh boy. Uh, if he just learned how to pass the ball, he would be such a good player, but he doesn't. So I am gonna say a disappointing 4 for Chris Smalling. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say 4 as well. I would say that's probably fair. I think, I didn't. The 2 goals we conceded, I don't think were really his fault. But still, he did lose possession. I think he was he was very, very shaky. So yeah, I think 4 is a decent one. One which I mean, for me, it's for me, it's gonna be quite low. It's gonna be Ashley Young.
Here's the thing. I mean, like, he's another man who had an amazing performance against Liverpool, and he didn't do much wrong. He didn't do much amazingly well this game, so I'd give him a 5. I'd give him a 5.
A 5. Fair play. Fair play. I think. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was being a bit harsh on him to give him a 4. I think
that's fair. I mean, honestly, the defense would be everyone in defense apart from Eric Bailly is lucky to get over a 5. But
yeah. Well, I just think that obviously for the second goal, the header at the back post from Ben Yedder, Young was marking his man, wasn't really paying. I mean, he got a kind of free header at the back post, and I mean, you can kind of blame a lot of the defense for that positioning, but I think it would. I think I'll give him a 4.5. I think it's in between 5 and 4. I'll give him a 4.5.
He's not a left back as well. I just whatever.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why we're not playing Luke Shaw. I don't know why, because I feel like Luke Shaw, it's actually good going forward, and he can inject something in it. I don't know why Jose Mourinho doesn't seem to want to trust him in these games, but there we go. Now, the man, the moment, Marouane Fellaini.
See, I mean, I don't want to murder him because, like I said, I don't think he had a terrible game. It just was not the game for him. And yeah, so I'm gonna just give him a 4. That's that.
I think 4 is fair actually. I think because I feel like there was a definite game plan in bringing on Fellaini. It did look like we were kind of putting balls up to him. He's going to knock it down, but for me, in the Champions League, knockout tie, that's not good enough. I mean, especially with the players we've got, we shouldn't be doing that. And obviously, I do agree with the fact that Jose Mourinho, wants to do anything for a win, and I do agree with that. You have to do anything for a win, but it just didn't work out tonight. And I agree, it wasn't his game, so yeah, I'd agree with the 4 as well. Nemanja Matic.
Honestly, he did the good thing simple, but like you said, I mean, he's not a chance creator, is he? Jeez. And you don't expect him to be. It's just he was unfortunate as well. Like I said, he was the only person, in my opinion, who actually was playing in midfield. So this might come as a surprise, but I'd give him a 6.
A 6. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I thought he did all right. For me, I think he passed the ball well. I thought, I do have a bit of a grudge, I would say, against him. I think he's good at kind of winning the ball back, but I do think he's very kind of slow sometimes when he gets the ball. And I think today he got dispossessed a few times. So I'm going to give him a 5 in this game. I think that's I'll say it's for his rating. But he does an important job. I just think he didn't do it that well tonight. And I think obviously not playing in a midfield 3 might have contributed to that. Let's go with Marcus Rashford next.
7. That's not even a question. I mean, he is one of 2 players that I tweeted out earned their wage this week. So yeah, Marcus Rashford gets a 7.
Yeah, I thought he looked good attacking wise. I mean, in some points he did. He could have probably made a few more better decisions, but ultimately, he did look the bright light in our team, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a 6.5. I think a 6.5 for Rashford. I think he did play well, but I don't know. I feel like in a few situations he might have been a bit more mature. But again, that'll come with age. And I'll say this now, and hopefully it gets clipped in the future. Marcus Rashford will be one of the best players for Manchester United and in the Premier League.
Yes.
Even not even maybe next season, but it depends on his development. But in at least a season or two time, he'll be one of the players in the Premier League everyone's looking to and saying, wow, that kid's good. I think Rashford, he really cares as well. He really tries for the cause, but that's what you get from being a Manchester lad as well. Welcome, GK, by the way. Thanks for joining. If you are new, please just subscribe to the channel and also subscribe to Dave's channel in the description down below. Let's get to Jesse Lingard.
It hurts because I love Jesse. I mean, the man is like, if I could meet any Manchester United player, it probably wouldn't be him, but I wouldn't be mad if I did meet him. So I'd give him a 5. I just think he was on the ball quite a bit as well. And in the first half, he had a 1-2 with Rashford. Wasn't a great final pass, but yeah, I don't think he did much wrong. Mata, I would have preferred in this game, so I'm gonna just say 5.
Yeah, I'd go with a 5. I think that's fair. With Jesse Lingard, I thought, he's one of those players who, when he gets on the ball, he looks dangerous, but I think there's a few times where he could have done better with it, and I really do. I like him as a player. I really do. He usually shows up in these big games, and unfortunately, he couldn't do the business tonight. But I think again, he's one of those players who was he like 25. He's still got a lot of time left in his career, and I hope he continues with his buddy Rashford and continues just balling. And I know obviously this result will hurt them. And maybe it's good experience, maybe it's good experience to sort of, get these sort of results and know that, no, we weren't good enough and this is what we need to do to get better. So maybe we also have to learn from our defeats, but that's a different point. Alexis Sanchez.
The man of the moment, not in a good way, but I'd give him a 6. He's still got some ways to go in terms of getting in the team and getting used to the way things are working. And like I said, the personnel, I don't think is suited to benefit him in this game. No Pogba in the first half. Mata, needs to play, like I said, with Sanchez, I think. And he made a great pass to Lukaku in the second half, who was unfortunate not to finish it. I give him a 6.
6, yeah. I'd say that's respectable. I think, obviously I like him a lot because he does really create things and does try to make things happen, and that's what we really need in this United team. Someone who's going to do that. But I think, although I do think that when he did get these chances, in some instances he didn't do his best. Give me a 6. I know, obviously, after that result, it's weird how I'm being generous to them, but obviously, I think I do feel kind of bad for him in the team. I'm going to give him a 6. So yeah, I agree with that. Welcome, Brother Gaming, and that's a interesting message as well. We'll get on to that in a second. And also, Romelu Lukaku up front getting the goal. Your rating?
Honestly, he is just such for lack of a better word, a beast. And not just in terms of the way he plays the game, in terms of his passion, and just he wants to be great. He doesn't settle for anything less than wanting to win. He scored the only goal of this game, and his link-up play was quite well for people who are bagging on his first touch. And I just completely disagree with everyone. I don't think his first touch is terrible. I think now that he's settled at United, now that he knows, I am one of the big stars at this club, I think he knew that already, but I don't think he was willing to throw his weight around. And I can't wait to see him kind of do that and be a vocal point of this team because people need to hear him, But aside from all that malarkey, I would give him an 8 because I would give him a 10 if we didn't lose, but I'd give him an 8. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no question he works extremely hard for the team, and that's what you want from a United player, and he really, really does care. I bet this loss really does hurt him, and like it should hurt all the United players.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 7.5. I reckon.
Okay.
I think he got his goal, which is really good, and I thought I was really going to go with a 7. But I do feel like he's one of the only players in this United team, especially out there today, who really, as you said, earned his money. I thought he really, played for the team, and he was very unlucky with a few of his chances. So, yeah, I think that's probably a fair rating. But yeah, I mean, obviously, a few substitutes. Have we already said Pogba?
No.
All right, Paul Pogba then. Go, Paul.
Paul Pogba. His number that's on the back of his shirt. I mean, I don't think he could do much, and I think 5 would even be a fair rating. But he did try things, wasn't successful, and I don't think he deserves anything better than a 6. So I would say 6.
Fair play. I'll go with a 5. I think that is a 5. I think that when he came on, obviously, as you said, he didn't really have that much chance to do much, but ultimately he didn't do much when he came on.
No.
And I think he was slightly wasteful with his chances, which is really unfortunate. And I do hope he can get back to his best, because when he's at his best, United are at their best. But unfortunately for me, it is it's a 5 from me for Pogba. Juan Mata.
10. I'm kidding. I mean, he's just the person. I think he and Rashford, and apart from Lukaku and De Gea, I think those two and Valencia should be Mata should be the first name on the team sheet, because, like I said, I mean, I've already basically bloody well advertised him as much as his agent does, but he's just integral to this team. So I am going to say a 5, because he didn't have a chance to do much. But yeah, I think that's that.
Hold on. Oh no, we're back. Broken. Yeah, I'll go with that. I reckon that's pretty solid one. I think. Yeah, I thought I don't understand why he doesn't start. I don't understand why he didn't start today. I thought that was a bad selection choice from Jose Mourinho, and I thought when he came on, he was very, very good. I'd give him. I'd give him. I think easily. He's probably one of the best players on the pitch, and he only came on for the last 20 minutes, whatever, 10, 20 minutes. So I'll give him an 8. I'll give him an 8 for that, for his performance.
I it.
I thought he did well. I thought he did very well when he came on. That's what I've got to say. I think he did very well for what he had. So yeah, I'm going to say an 8 for his performance.
I will say though, disclaimer: after we conceded, I think I pretty much lost my head, and I probably wasn't watching as much as I should have been. Yeah.
No, I went after we conceded the first. I had some hope, but the second, I was just like, we're out. I know. I actually didn't have faith, even after that Crystal Palace comeback. I didn't have faith at all. And they didn't. They kind of repaid my non-faith in them, because they didn't get a win. But ultimately, and finally, Anthony Martial.
You know what? He spent quite a bit of time on the right-hand side, and we all know how that goes. That's just not what he should do when he comes on or plays in general. But I think every sub added an influence. So I wouldn't give him less than a 5, but he didn't do anything like Juan Mata. So I would say 5.
I would agree. I couldn't agree more, really. I think, when he came on, didn't make a huge amount of difference. It was hard for any sub to come onto that game and make a huge amount of difference in the, when we need 3 goals to go through. It's pretty hard to make any sort of real difference. And I agree. I think it was. I think a 5 is probably all right for him. But yeah, those are the player ratings, and I'm going to end it here. I think it's a good time to end it. Obviously, I don't want to. Don't want to go through this. I don't want to dwindle on this too much.
No. No.
I just want to go over it, get into the next game, and preview that, and just be, just hopefully. I mean, if we win our next game, this will be forgotten. We'll go into the semi-final of the FA Cup, and hopefully we win the cup. And as I said, thanks everyone for watching. Please do go check out Dave's channel in the description down below. Very good channel indeed for all your Manchester United stuff, previews, reviews, the lot. Go check out in the description down below. Welcome Del Young, by the way, and welcome to everyone who has joined. And yeah, thanks for everyone's comments as well. Really do appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe as well. Very near to the 300 mark. But ultimately, DLM wants me to read out this comment. Finally, in it, the crowd was awful today. They only woke up in the 85th minute as well. They're just as bad as the cheers and chants should start at the first minute, not the 85th. I mean, it's an interesting point. Obviously, atmosphere of football games isn't brilliant. And I thought, I mean, obviously, I wasn't at the game, so I can't really judge too much the atmosphere. But I mean, I thought it was better than usual, but ultimately maybe not up to standard of a Champions League tie. I'm not sure what you thought about
that. I think, excuse me. I think the fans started well. As you do, it's Champions League, it's knockout stages. But I think the players got what they deserved. I don't want to put any of this on the players personally. I think Mourinho got what he deserved for what he put out and the tactics he deployed. Like you said, I think you said something to the effect of why he chose Fellaini and, a certain way to win a game. And it could have worked on another day against Liverpool, but that wasn't the case. So the fans, I think, just reciprocated and said, you know what, I'm not enjoying this, so I'm not going to give you any chance. And maybe that's not the right way to go about it, but that's personally how I would feel if I was there paying to see what I saw.
Well, I think, if you're paying to see that tonight, I mean, I feel really bad for you, to be honest. It'd be shocking, really. I mean, even imagine if you're like a supporter from, further afield and you've come just for this game and you see that. I mean, that would be shocking. Del here, just going to wrap up with this one. I think this kind of sums it up. He says, in all my years as a Man United fan, never seen such poor players wearing a Man United shirt. Total disgrace. Half that team should go total rubbish. Feel gutted. Well, I think we all feel gutted. And I think it was in some part a disgrace. I think some players can hold their heads up high, but others, it was very shocking. And I do appreciate all the views, guys. At the height, I think we had 12 viewers, which is decent for a night stream as well. As I said, go subscribe to Dave's channel in the description down below. But that's it. Thank you, everyone, for all your comments. We'll be back with possibly a midweek stream or possibly the preview for the Brighton game. And that is a very, very big game after this. This game, we're out of the Champions League, 2-1. Who would have saw that coming? If you want to go watch the preview for this channel, the preview for the game where I predicted stuff and got it horribly wrong, go check out on the channel. And go check out Dave's channel in the description down below. Also, Aaron says he wants me to shout his channel, so I'll shout out Aaron Richards. He does some final score stuff, some live streams and that. So if you want to go watch that, check him out as well. Thank you everyone for watching. If you are watching right now, please do leave a like, subscribe to my channel and Dave's channel in the description down below. And yeah, Man United out of the Champions League. We'll see you on Saturday.